Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota famously summarized the 9/11 attacks this way, quote, "Some people did something." Well, in contemporary Washington, even a high school yearbook is fair game for debate, but Omar, amazingly, hasn't had to explain her remarks. No one asked her. That is until the 9/11 commemoration last week. And a man who lost his mother rebuked Omar by wearing a T-shirt that said, "Some people did something." So finally this weekend on CBS Face the Nation, Omar was asked to explain what she said. Was she sorry at all? Did she see why her remarks may have hurt some people? Here's how she responded.
9/11 was an attack on all Americans. It was an attack on all of us. And I certainly could not understand the weight of the pain that the victims of the families of 9/11 must feel. But I think it is really important for us to make sure that we are not forgetting, right, the aftermath of what happened after 9/11. Many Americans found themselves now having their civil rights stripped from them. As a Muslim, not only was I suffering as an American who was attacked on that day, but the next day I woke up as my fellow Americans were now treating me as suspect.
Oh, okay. So in other words, Omar is not sorry. 9/11 wasn't the specific murder of 3,000 Americans by Islamic extremists, no. It was simply an amorphous attack on all Americans, but most important, it was an attack on Omar herself. She suffered more than you did. In other words, not only is Ilhan Omar ungrateful, anti-American, she's also, not surprisingly, a narcissist. Last week on the show, we spoke with Jim Kreidler. He's an attorney who represents the families of 9/11 victims. They've been suing Saudi Arabia. Those families are hoping the FBI would declassify documents related to Saudi's role in the attacks. Following our interview, the FBI gave those families a victory, but only a small one. The FBI gave Kreidler the name of a man who may have ordered 2 Saudi officials to assist the hijackers, but won't let him share that name with any of the 9/11 families. They said it's state secrets in refusing to declassify the FBI report that contains Saudi ties to 9/11 hijackers. Why? DOJ did this on the grounds of what they call an active investigation and said it would hurt relations with a foreign ally. Kreidler called the DOJ's position ridiculous and said they, quote, want to keep the information of their failures secret. He's vowed to have that information declassified. We'll, of course, keep you updated on that. So Americans are not allowed to know the extent of Saudi's involvement with 9/11. Many people think it's America's obligation, though, to fight wars on behalf of the Saudi kingdom. You're seeing that all over today. Once again, tensions are rising in the Persian Gulf after an alleged Iranian attack on a Saudi oil facility that shut down about half that country's refining capacity. This, under normal circumstances, would be a flat-out disaster for the United States, and yet fracking has meant that the United States is now energy independent. We have some buffer. We don't need to fight Middle Eastern wars over oil anymore. We don't as of today. That is, until we shut down our own energy sector to implement a Green New Deal, which many are proposing on the left.